Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Let's get started with this week's episode of Outed. Chapter 14. Jared's point of view. We back up just a few minutes. I spoke to Mom about the debt, my obsessive need to buy clothes, about college, about my dreams, and she took my hand and said, "Damn, we are so good at torturing ourselves." "Someday, it might be an Olympic sport," I said. Mom picked up the remote and played with it without pushing any buttons. College, your own apartment, someday, a coffee shop. I would be the proudest mom on the planet. I don't know how to get you there. We can't afford it this year. "I've got to rearrange my priorities," I said, "but I don't know how." Mom crossed her chubby arms and gave me that all-knowing look. "Mitch has always helped you out with everything else. That's what a best friend is for. You know, Mitch has been in the shower for 45 minutes. Go see if he passed out or something." "Getting rid of me already?" I gave Mom a kiss on the forehead. "We'll figure this out. We always have. Now go save Mitch from drowning. Maybe you'll save yourself too. I'll make us something to eat." She levered herself up from the chair, gripped her cane, and hobbled to the kitchen. I walked back to the bathroom and knocked. No answer. I opened the door a little. The water was on, but Mitch was not. He sat on the floor of the tub, arms curled around his knees, one arm in the garbage bag, head turned away, his hair drizzling all around him. Mitch didn't move. The water must have turned cold a long time ago, but he just sat there. No matter my problems, Mitch had more to deal with. Seriously, freezing, under the shower. I closed the door and banged on it. Throughout dinner, I thought about what Mom had said. Maybe she was right, maybe not. Mitch only toyed with his food, eating a little, staring a lot at nothing. Time to get him moving. "You'll feel better once we get you some clothes. Grab your wallet and let's go." "What about the dishes?" Mitch asked. "Most stores closed in a couple of hours. Do them when you get back." Mitch's favorite store for clothes? Goodwill. So we went there. When was the last time I had been to Goodwill? Before I started working at Java Dive. "Of all the places you could shop, you want to go to Goodwill?" I asked. Mitch only nodded, picking at the bandages on his hand. 45 minutes in the shower, of course they got wet. Changing bandages, a project for later tonight. Wouldn't you know, Mitch went straight for anything black. Time for style lesson number 1. "Mitch, we're shopping for work clothes right now, not after hours wear." I took a deep breath and pulled out a pair of khaki shorts. "What's wrong with black?" "Nothing, but only at the right times. Right now, think uniforms." Harding's doesn't have uniforms. Few places do. Mitch pulled a pair of black jeans from the rack and checked the tag inside. Pulling another pair of shorts, I said, "Fine. When you go to karate, what do you wear? A tutu?" "A gi." "Would you wear a gi to Harding's?" "No. Maybe if I was shopping for something after karate, or getting something for Sensei Robert." "You proved my point. They have a standard, a uniform. Do the Hardings wear black?" "No." Mitch put the jeans back. "Rule number 1 for us style geeks. Figure out the uniform and dress accordingly. Every place has a uniform. You just have to figure out what it is. Some places are like Java Dive, and it's obvious. Others are like Harding's, and are less so. Sometimes the rules are different for customers than for employees, like at the Dive and at Harding's. Even clubs and bars have their own individual style. What works at Ed's bar is different from a place like Mama Italiana's, which is completely different from Club Neo. Now, Harding's is a health food and grocery store, right? What colors are in the store?" "The awnings are either a light blue or a light green." There you go. A more natural look, I said. Let's see what we can find. 20 minutes later, I had pulled a dozen selections. Mitch had only pulled 2. Mitch looked at all I had chosen and rejected them. Why? I asked. Look at the tags, Mitch said. These have been washed a lot. This is where the hunt gets good. Look for the crisp tags. Those are most likely store clearance items they sent here and have never been worn. Mitch was right. The hunt became more interesting. Speaking of interesting, I made a quick call. Mitch, what time do you finish karate tomorrow night? Around 7. I called the number back. 7:30. See you then. What's going on? I smiled a wicked little grin. You and I are going on a double date tomorrow night, and you are going on it blind. The look of horror on Mitch's face brought me no end of pleasure. What if I said no? He said. You won't. I'm still getting even. Jared. Later that night. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Mitch, about all the years we'd known each other, and how close we had become. I stared at the ceiling, smelling the clean sheets, and listening to the racket of the swamp cooler. No matter what I tried, I remained awake. Finally, I got up. Mom's door was closed. Through the dim light from the street lamps, I saw Mitch sleeping on the couch. The darkness hid his bruises and cut, and he looked like an abandoned dog, even asleep. Something inside me ached. Saturday night, I thought he died. Then I saw him Sunday morning, staggering out of his truck. I hated Bailey. Mitch stretched and rolled to his side, the shirt lifting up. In the darkness, you couldn't see all the lancet dots, but I knew they were there. God, I had been a fool. With the injuries covered by shadows, I could only see Mitch. Neither one of us were the kids we had been. I had gotten poorer, and Mitch had grown more afraid. I hate Bailey. But Mitch did look good. Abs made sharp by the streetlight flooding in the room, the definition in those arms. Asleep, his face relaxed, and I could see the kid he used to be. Mitch had turned into one nice-looking, independent guy in spite of his father. I can't believe I'm doing this. Quietly, I dressed, looked through my old sports equipment, and found my baseball bat, and snuck out the back door to my car. As I drove off, I pulled up the picture of Mitch and me in the hospital. It's 3 a.m. I hate Bailey. I watched the video from Saturday night. I hate Bailey even more. The streets are empty, and I shut my radio off to preserve the quiet. I needed time to think. I needed time to build up my courage. I pulled up in front of the monster house, turned the car off, and gripped the bat. I remembered everything that happened that night. Bailey had beaten his son and almost did the same to me. Somehow, I would take a baseball bat to the jerk's head, let him see what it felt like. Tonight, the monster house was brightly lit, at least with the exterior security lights. All the interior ones were dark. The Beamer X6 sat in the driveway. The worst night of Mitch's life, and I had to go shopping. I climbed out of my car and slowly walked to the drive, staring at the red brick manor with white pillars. Donna and Bailey made too much money. How dare they treat their son like that? I looked at the picture again and slung the bat on my shoulder. I only needed one swing. My heart beat too fast and my palms were sweating. I should go home. Somebody needed to look after Mitch. Instead, I walked up to the back door. Glass crunched under my feet. An automatic security light flashed on above the back door. Police tape made a large X across it. Nobody had come in or out since Saturday night. A car pulled up into the drive. When the lights hit it, the anger fled out of me. A police car, no lights or sirens. It parked, and an officer got out. "Evening," I said. Officer Lopez stepped into the light. "Evening yourself, Jared. Why don't you put the bat down and let's talk about this?" I took a deep breath, sighed, and dropped the bat. It clattered a couple of times. "Okay." "Neighbors called," Officer Lopez said in a very calm voice. "Somebody was at the Lassiter house." I was thinking, Mitch. "Why are you here?" "You should see Mitch. He's barely coping," I said. "Can't even get out of the shower. He's lived in fear his whole life, and I never noticed. His face is so banged up, I don't recognize him. He still holds his arm funny, and it's in a goddamn cast." "Is that why you're here?" I nodded. "I hate Bailey so much." "Then you shouldn't be here." "I know," I said. "Mitch needs me. Mom needs me. Tonight, when I saw Mitch sleeping on the couch, I got so frustrated." "That I can understand," Officer Lopez said, and reached for the bat. "I'll take this, and you need to go home." "I know. It's just—" "Yep," he said. "You need to realize it's out of your hands, completely. Bailey faces 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault, destruction of property, not to mention what he did to the truck or the insulin. The courts will decide his fate." "I've made a fool of myself, haven't I?" I said. "It could have been much worse." Officer Lopez placed an arm around my shoulders and led me back down the drive to my car. Judge Simpson was given the case. He's a tough old guy, and has set bail at $200 grand. "200?" I asked. Mr. Lassiter's attorney thought that was a little steep, but the judge didn't budge. Lopez said something about emergency room pictures and baseball bats didn't make a very good impression. "Nobody around here can afford that," I said. "I think that was the idea," Lopez said. "I'll do you a favor. I'll keep the bat. You go home, and we'll both pretend this was just an accidental meeting." "I'm sorry about this," I said. "You take care of Mitch, and let us take care of Mr. Lassiter. Deal?" I bit my lip and nodded. Deal. I drove around for half an hour, thinking about Mitch, thinking about clothes, thinking about life. As I pulled up to the house, I stared at the living room window. The couch where Mitch slept stood next to it. And then I wondered something odd, something I had never thought about before. What would it be like to make love to a man? Where did that thought come from? I think I'm in serious trouble.